Hey guys, there's 168 hours in the week. Let's make one of them happy. Welcome back to Happy Hour.
Awesome.
Welcome back.
Hey, y'all. Good to see you. Our special guest today is the Holy Spirit. He's going to be hanging out with us today.
HS, what's up? Holla.
He's always here.
He's got his
What's
own
not
channel.
here today is Miss Jessie. She's out taking care of a child. So we've got
Motherly duties.
props to her
Yes.
being the mom. She's got to pull the mom card.
Yeah.
What we
Yes.
got going on?
We got a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about. A little, some plane disappearances.
Yeah.
Like new ones?
Well, the
Oh,
most
new
recent
ones.
one was in 2014. That was the Malaysia one. But we did a lot of research, and I'm kind of scared to get on a plane now.
Really? I haven't.
Yes.
I'm gonna be so honest. You were going over some of these earlier, and I was like zoning out because I wanted you to tell me and get my raw reaction. Because I watch a lot of shows on Netflix about plane disappearances, and so it kind of freaks me out now. I love planes and I love getting on planes, but the disappearance stories are just wild.
Yeah, and I think that scares me the most is like, what if they never find the plane? Like, what if the plane truly disappears and like,
Yeah.
never come, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
What if they're just
the
on an
Malaysia
island?
one like really scared me a little bit.
Okay, so what happened? It just disappeared?
So it was carrying 239 people and it vanished en route. It was heading to Beijing.
Okay.
Despite extensive searches, the main wreckage has not been found. And the disappearance remains one of the biggest mysteries in aviation history. So,
No black box, no nothing.
no, they couldn't find the black box or anything. So the whole wreckage is like truly disappeared.
Now, I heard a piece of it washed up on the shore at some beach, indicating that it did, in fact, go down in the Indian Ocean,
Oh,
wherever
wow.
it did. So that they found like a rudder, like the flap on the wing. That's what washed up. And that
Goodness.
was like in 17 or something like that,
Yeah.
2017. So I don't know. If,
I'm just surprised with all the technology today. Like,
yeah.
we couldn't
How
find
you
something.
lose that? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you lose this?
I don't even
How
know.
heavy are these planes? They're massive.
Well, if you go with the conspiracy theorists, they're like somebody was important enough on that plane that they needed it to disappear.
Oh my goodness, like the
That would be-
Titanic thing?
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
The unsinkable ship.
Mm-hmm.
He says, what did that guy say? Not even God could sink this ship, and then it's.
And then it's
sank.
sank.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
like,
Don't
watch
be,
me.
Don't be tossing it. Don't be tossing out
Right.
the Holy Spirit's name out there like that.
But didn't they say if it would have like turned just a few
Oh my
inches,
goodness.
it would have never
Yes.
hit?
I've seen like the diagrams of
Degrees.
it, and it's like the way it hit and then the way it snapped and all that. If they would have just turned a little bit more, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it barely like went
Scratched,
in. It
yeah.
probably went in. Okay, this might be false. It went in like less than a couple of feet from what I remember. It wasn't like a. It was just a scratch, and it
Crazy
ruined it.
whole-
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is. They didn't have the whole hatches closed in between the rooms, and so when it flooded inside, it
Mm-hmm.
took
Yeah.
on too much water and the weight inside of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then I've heard like different stories from what the wreckage would have sounded like, and all the different things that were happening. And they said the metal almost sounded like it was singing as it was cracking. It was like for like hours.
Like bending.
Yeah. They
Well,
said
it
was
did say it was
terrifying.
unsinkable. So what material were they using?
It was like
you know?
steel.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Regular ship.
Yeah.
Out of steel. But if it took on water and it filled the inside of that thing and made it bow like that, you'd have been hearing that metal like bending.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're hearing. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I just imagined it playing the violin.
Mm-hmm.
who's to
the
say?
violin.
Yeah. And then they said they had like all the percussion people were playing. Yeah.
So that was a day, like people get all the women and children onto the boats, and then the guys just stayed on there and
Yeah. And then
Toasted
the guys would steal the babies and act like women and get on the life rafts.
Yeah,
That, like, really
yes.
is that like
happened.
really
Yeah.
is that real or is that
Yeah.
like Hollywood?
No,
making
that's
it-
real. I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking, what babies were on the Titanic that were raised by some guy and like this whole family and have no idea they were actually stolen during the Titanic.
That would be a story.
I was thinking about that the other day.
I never thought about it that deep.
What
but
is
that's
that,
really
Yeah.
cool.
something 23 and me.
Yeah.
somebody does that and they're like, wait a second, these are supposed to be my relatives, and they're not.
Yeah. But even with like plane crashes in the ocean and the Titanic and all that, you know, you're in the middle of nowhere. I've never been on a cruise, but I can
Neither
just
have I.
imagine
Oh,
from what
been
I've
on a
heard,
cruise,
like
and I love them.
at night though, standing outside and you just being like nothing. Like that. Oh, that had to be scary.
It is, and then when you look up, like you have no like light
Pollution, yeah.
pollution. So when you look up, I remember telling Landon, I was like, man, I've never knew there was this many stars in the sky. It really
Yeah,
is like
light
nothing
pollution,
but stars.
right.
It is crazy. It is kind of like creepy and eerie
Yeah.
a little bit.
I think it's cool. Like,
It is
see
cool.
that many stars. Yeah, you see them in the desert in California. California's got, where I grew up in San Diego, they have the famous Palomar telescope, because it was the biggest telescope at the time. It's 200 inches across. Then it was the biggest telescope, and
Yeah.
the light from growing Los Angeles and San Diego started to pollute the sky. So
Yeah.
California was one of those first states that made all those street lights go to a different color.
I saw that the
so
other
that
day.
they could not pollute
Yeah,
the sky.
it was
light,
like they
so
went
that you
from
could see it.
orange to
Yeah.
LED recently, or it wasn't
Okay.
recently. It was probably like
It was
a
a while
decade
back.
ago.
They did it a while back because they were the ones who needed to do it because of that telescope.
So in
Yeah.
Sedona, they don't have many street lights either, and it's because I mean it's all around the Red Rock. But if you drive like on a main highway, there's not many street lights like how you drive up LA 1 and you see all
Yeah.
the street lights. It's like one every so mile and a half, maybe.
We were in Honduras, where McKenna's a missionary, and they get blackouts
Yeah.
that are scheduled because the country can't pay for the light, and one of them happened while we were there. And I
Micah
mean
told me
to
about
tell you,
this.
it was so dark. We're on top of this mountain, like there is nothing. You couldn't see anything in front of your face. And I'm like, wow. And so all the stars were out and you could see everything, but it was amazing. It
Yeah,
was
Micah
amazing.
showed me a picture, and the sky was like purple.
Yeah, we were taking pictures of the stars because we were so it was so
Amazed by it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. So what about have y'all ever heard of the U.S. Navy Flight 19? That
No.
one took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It disappeared, and then a search and rescue plane was sent, and they vanished too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When was this?
You were in the Navy. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
I was in the Air Force.
Oh, the Air Force. I'm sorry.
Thanks for opening that wound up and squeezing lemon juice in it. Everybody knows the Air Force guys are smarter than the Navy guys.
And then you got the Marines eating crayons.
So, yeah, well, I'm not going to make fun of Marines. My dad was a Marine, so, I'm all about the Marines. No, I did hear about this. So in 1945 in October, they conducted an experiment on the USS Eldridge. And it was called the Philadelphia Experiment. And it was this top secret thing that nobody was supposed to know about. And the deal was there was so heavy in the Atlantic Ocean of Nazi submarines and stuff like that that they were trying to figure out a way to hide their ships from the radar. And so this dude by the name of Nikola Tesla comes up with this idea to wrap the ship in copper cable. And he wraps the whole thing kind of like when you see a little engine that's wrapped with copper that's turning. He's going to wrap this thing and create an electromagnified field around it.
It messes with the compass.
That it would not be able to be seen by these sonar guys. So this was the test that was supposedly happening. This is in October 1945. The story goes, they flipped a switch, and it's a DC opposite current and all this crazy electronic thing. And there's other ships around the Eldridge. Catch this. They're standing there watching this to see if it's going to disappear off their radar, because that was the whole test. And the ship gets surrounded by kind of a green fog, and it disappears. And these guys are watching it. So Google the Philadelphia Experiment and read that crazy thing. It disappears. 3 hours later, it reappears. They are in the Philadelphia shipyard. The ship appears in Norfolk, and people see it in Norfolk, and then it disappears in Norfolk and comes back to where it was. And when it comes back to where it was, the guys on board are just some are dead. Some of them are halfway in the hull, like in the floor of the ship, like their bodies are halfway through the floor, through walls, stuff like that. They shut the whole thing down, and you look at it like that's some kind of crazy story. Except that nobody gets to interview any of these people on the Eldridge. They take all of them off. They say some of these guys are died or whatever it is. This is in 1945. So from 1943, 45. So between 43 and 45, you got the whole Bermuda Triangle thing where all these ships are disappearing because they believe they're trying this thing out, and what they accidentally figured out is how to move through space and time in this deal. And so all these disappearances that occurred in the Bermuda Triangle are all at these military bases in the same place from 43 to 73, and then they stop. In 70, they stop disappearing, and it's all military planes. You got those 5 planes that disappear, and all these other things that are disappearing during this time, and then it ceases to exist. Things start not disappearing.
Yeah.
But during this whole time, a lot of this stuff is happening, and it's mostly with military aircraft.
Yeah.
And so they're thinking, they're thinking that Tesla and these guys figured out on accident that they were able to, whatever happened to the Eldridge, after they got all these guys out of the ship, they wouldn't let anybody in it. They sent it to a junkyard and cut the ship up into pieces and,
Because they were too scared
and
of it.
destroyed it.
That's crazy.
And so
Tesla was doing some weird stuff, though.
he was doing some wacky things. And
he
I
was
think if you
smart.
read the story, he and Einstein were in on this thing in 43 and 45. So they were both working on this thing. And so it's kind of a whack story, but it's called the Philadelphia Experiment. And that's when they did it. But the problem was they had other Navy people standing there watching. And they went,
Yeah.
what? How do you keep that many people quiet? You
Yeah.
don't. So
No,
they just take the whole ship to a shipyard and cut it up. So that's all history tells you. If you go on like a regular history thing, that's no conspiracy stuff. They just say this would happen. Nobody got interviewed. They cut up the ship
Yeah.
and they dismantled it and they decommissioned it.
That's crazy.
And then that's it. However, it fits with all this disappearance stuff that happened during that time. Now these other planes, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've heard
like
about
some.
the copper stuff. Because
Well-
in, like, Stranger Things, this is so dumb. In Stranger Things, they were talking about, like, how it'll disrupt a magnetic field and it'll make the compasses mess up.
Yeah.
And so the teacher, because he doesn't know what's going on with, like, the portals and stuff like that, he uses copper in, like, a little tiny diorama. And he, like, messes with the copper and then he flips a switch and he's like, look, it just completely messed up the compasses and now it's not magnetized. And the mom's like, so this is why my magnets are falling off my fridge. And it's like, there's like a whole interdimensional portal
I
behind
wonder
her.
how
It's
many
crazy.
things are like hidden in like movies, like the copper
Oh
thing.
my
You're like, oh, this
gosh.
is so stupid. But what if like some things are hidden in Hollywood's movies,
Oh, they are.
and like when they happen, they're like, well, we showed it to you in the Hollywood movie and you watched it.
Like the tunnels under Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could go on and on.
There's some weird stuff.
Alien.
But digress. So you got people from Amelia Earhart, who
Yeah,
I think
that's our next topic.
I
is
think
Amelia
that's
Earhart.
just she's going to break this record. She's going to fly around the world, and I think from point A to point B, somewhere in between. I don't know what happens. Her plane goes down. Does she fall asleep? Does she like what occurs where she falls asleep and it nose dives and she can't pull it out? But
Well, she
there's
was
no
with
real
somebody,
reason.
right?
I
for her
think
to disappear.
so.
She was with
Was she?
how you say that his name?
Fred Noonan?
Yes.
Fred Noonan.
So somebody was with her.
So unless her and Fred are living on some island somewhere, and
They do mention
Or they
that a
did.
lot of these like planes that go down, they do say it's like it's pilot suicide.
Mm.
So you know,
That could be it as well. But I feel like in that particular situation, unless Fred, like, was hijacking the plane,
yeah.
I don't think, like, she was so determined. Because there's a clip of her somewhere, and she's talking about, like, she's going to be the first one to do it, and, like, her determination in it. So I don't think whatever happened was on purpose, and I don't think it was, like, people were blackmailing her into doing something radical.
Mm-hmm.
I think if anything crazy would have happened besides it being an accident, he would have been like, no, we're not going to let this girl beat this
Yeah.
record, like,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But who knows? They could be somewhere. I mean, by now they're probably not still around. But they could be, you know that island That's like,
Yeah.
you know what island I'm talking about?
Yeah,
With
that's
the
in
people that are
the
unreached.
Atlantic Ocean. Is like the farthest place away from. It's a
Yes.
long, like 4,000 miles from the nearest point, and it gets delivered
Yeah.
supplies by ship.
Well, there was
once
a
it's like
missionary
6
that
months.
went over there a couple of years ago to the island, and
But
he was
there's a
gonna,
whole
like,
colony of
minister.
people that live there.
Yeah, and they shot him down with a bow, like with bow and arrow. They shot him.
Oh, you're
And
talking
they
about
took his body.
you're talking about the native guys. I think that's off the coast of Malaysia or something.
It's
Or,
always Malaysia, y'all.
China
I'm
or
telling
something.
you.
But I forget what.
yeah,
they're
that's
called.
an unreached group, and then they won't let anybody
Yeah.
in there because they don't want to disrupt them.
Biologically.
They didn't want the Christians evangelizing them or anything
Well,
like
that
that.
and also like they haven't been introduced to like different diseases.
Right.
So if you do go over there and try and spread something like, and you try and get them supplies or whatever they need, you could potentially wipe out the entire population.
Yeah, so that's a different group. The one I was thinking of is this island that's further than that one's near a coast that you can actually take a tour out to and they can look at the island, but you're not allowed to go there because they are like cannibalistic, or at least they're going
That's
to
what
kill you.
happened to the guy. Yeah.
So, but the other island was peopled by, I want to say the people, some ship that broke away from the British Armada and
Oh,
did not
wow.
want to go back to them, so they ran the ship aground and they hid there, and then they colonized that island with the natives and themselves. So all these people are like generational to these guys in Britain and to this people group that was
Whoa.
there, and they've been living there.
Yeah.
And people have gone back. They found the island later, and they started bringing supplies. They have stores there and everything. Not like stores that we would have. They have one grocery store, and
Yeah.
it gets supplied every 6 months. And it's kind of weird. It's an
Yeah.
interesting. I can't remember what
There's
the
a
name
lot of islands that are also just like uninhabited, like Snake Island.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's like literally just
I'm not
all
a big
snakes.
fan of snakes, though, so I don't know much about them.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's like Monkey Island.
Yeah,
And it's just a bunch of like rabid monkeys.
yeah. They put them there for some experiment
Yeah.
reason. There's some pretty weird
They
places.
like to move animals around a lot for different reasons. I think that's how they got all the iguanas in Florida. I'm pretty sure. They like moved them over there for something, and they accidentally started breeding a bunch of
Breeding.
them.
Well, isn't like the
And pigs and stuff.
the nutria rat's not indigenous to
That's
this area?
that's what I was thinking
So
about.
they were here, and a hurricane had hit and knocked the cages over. They got out
Yep.
into the swamp, and they have
And
like
that's just kind of
that's
Yeah,
what's-
because they
that's
were
why
on
they're
a
here.
ship. They like got in through one of the ships, and they got loose. That's another one I was trying to remember about. Yeah.
So the
Crazy
Pitcairn Islands, and that was the HMS Bounty, the British ship. And with the Tahitian people, they were like they settled there, and they were like they created this whole culture of people there in this island. It's kind of
That's
crazy.
so crazy.
So recent claims with Amelia, they had an image that was found that looked like a plane, but the image was later identified as a rock formation.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
So in 2000, that was in 2024.
Oh, they thought they
now
found
with
it?
2025, they a satellite image on a remote island that could be the plane's wreckage. They are planning an expedition to investigate sometime soon.
I mean, I think they'd be covered with
I would
coral
think,
and stuff
yes,
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
By now, that whole
Because I
thing
mean,
has
look
been
at
taken
look at the
over.
Titanic and stuff like that, and that's so deep. But like, okay, my thing is, if once you find it, why does it take you all of this time? If it's right off the coast, why is it taking you months and months and years
Well,
and years to
which
go look
coast
at
is it off of?
It was
I
on
mean,
like
if it's off of China's coast, they're going to be like, yeah, no, we don't want you over here. You got to go through all these like things to be able to
Yeah,
get it.
that's
You got to
true.
go through an archaeological thing. You got to have their scientists involved and yours, and
yeah.
that would probably be one reason. But
yeah.
who owns? As I understand it, every country only owns 200 miles off of each coast of their country. So
Oh.
unless she's within that 200 miles, then you've got to ask that
Yeah.
country. If it's not within those 200 miles, it's open waters.
I think we need to explore the ocean. There's just so much stuff in there.
Oh, I think it would be. Yeah, I think you would find so much under there.
Did you know they found the chariot wheels in the Red Sea?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
saw that?
Yes,
That's
yes,
cool.
I
That's
did
cool.
see that.
And that
I
looks
did see
pretty
that.
legit because of the way they're shaped. some goofy people trying to say, well, that's just a formation of coral. I'm like, it's not going to form
A
like
formation of coral.
Yeah.
with spokes on it.
Yeah.
I do think that's so cool to see.
But that's
Yeah.
cool. That is really
Yeah.
cool. I love stuff
Yeah.
like that. Hear about the Lincoln statue that was stolen from the Homa House here in Louisiana?
That's more of a local thing.
That is
yeah. That's-
solid silver, and
yeah.
it's about like
It was
this big.
64 pounds of artwork. So,
Cool.
yeah, it was
My
worth
brother.
$166,000, and
And
these
these
two
guys-
people broke in a window, and I think it was three.
3 guys, yeah.
And they're it's not like one
Larry,
age
Moe, and
group.
Curly.
It was like 59 and 20, and I think the other one might have been like 30 something. So it's like you can't put this on put this on teenagers because it's like a good age
Yeah.
range. But yeah, they the night of September 6th this year they broke in and stole it, and they broke it.
Yeah, they busted it
So
up into
they busted
pieces
it up, yeah.
to
Melt
melt
it
it
down?
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was the plan? To melt it down into bars and then put a fake stamp on it and then go try
and
to
then
sell the
go
bars?
try to sell it off. Yeah. But the same guy who designed Mount Rushmore is the one who sculpted it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So it.
I did
I
not
mean,
know
it was
that.
it was pretty, like,
So
it
check-
was an heirloom.
So 64 pounds of silver is worth approximately $3.2 million if it's fine silver, or about $51,000 if it's just sterling silver.
But what did they expect? They just expected they weren't gonna get caught. Like,
I guess.
Yes, because they were gonna melt it down,
Like
cut
they
it
don't
into
think
pieces,
there's-
and then everybody was gonna get their share.
I'm talking about
you know?
breaking through a window. Like,
No cameras. I
Come
mean,
on.
I guess they caught him with cameras, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure they did, but it took a few days for somebody to realize it was missing.
what?
Yeah,
I feel like I
so,
would. Yeah, I probably
You know,
would have seen the
like,
window
you got it
first.
sitting
The lady
there.
dust in there goes,
The cleaning lady's like,
Wait a
wait,
second.
didn't there? I dust something right
was
here.
Where's
something
Lincoln?
here.
Where's Lincoln?
something
Where'd he go?
changed.
Hey, did anybody see? Did we move Lincoln? Like, what's the deal?
And then they showed it all
Abe.
chopped up into pieces. They took his arms off, his legs off his head, and it's
Yeah.
all like in a box. I'm like, that's sad.
There is a picture of it. If you go,
How you gonna put
you're gonna have to
that back
pop it up
together?
and show. But like, I
Yeah.
think the head's missing
Yeah.
off of it. So
Gotta
they
throw that up
already
on the
started.
screen.
But yeah, I guess going into like it's an heirloom. Like, do any of y'all have family heirlooms?
I have family heirlooms. I think.
I think
Well-
we brought a few to show y'all
brought
today.
some.
So what do you got there?
Okay, so this isn't from my family, and I thought it was really old. It's not. Basically, there's this. It's my nana's best friend. She passed away the day before I graduated high school, but she had this gift for me for my graduation because she knew I like to travel. So her mom went on vacation somewhere in the 90s. This woman was probably like 70. And so her mom went on vacation in the 90s and got this. It's like a cigar box. Let me see if I can open it.
Ooh.
And-
So your family passes down cigars?
And so I don't know. Miss Nella the kid. I don't know. Her house is so
This is
cool.
from 1920.
Yeah, like she.
Cuban cigar.
I think she wanted me to just keep it for like little
So
keepsakes.
like they
that I
fixed it
find.
up. They put stuff on it. It's not like
yeah,
a regular.
it's not super old.
Yeah, it's not a regular cigar box.
But yeah, she was quite a cool lady. Her entire kitchen was designed like a 1960s diner, and it was Coca-Cola themed.
Oh, I
Cool.
love
But like
that.
tiny little tiles on the floor. The bar was like super old with LEDs. Had Coca-Cola bar stools,
Huh.
Coca-Cola pantry, stuff
This
like
is
that.
your kitchen?
Her kitchen?
Yes, her
This
kitchen.
is cool.
And then the rest of her house was normal. But her living room, the top was lined with old records, kind of like that. And she had, from her son, who works at a radio station, the original Marvel comics.
Oh no.
The first Spider-Man, the first Captain
Got a bad
America,
story about that.
all of it. And then he had in a back room all of the original Marvel comic books. It was so cool. But
That
anyways,
stuff is worth a fortune.
she's cool
yeah,
lady.
so what happened? You said she passed away right
Yes,
before your
the
graduation.
son
So-
still has it because
okay,
that
I
was
was
all
about to
of
say what
his.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I tried to get that and I didn't get it in the will.
You got a cool
Um,
cigar box.
Yeah, I got that. But I didn't even think she was gonna. She was a really cool lady. She had books all over her house. She read a book every single night. Cool lady.
Yeah.
And then, my mom let me grab these as I was leaving the house. So these are my great grandmother's engagement and wedding band. Engagement
Great-grandmother.
ring. Yes, these are Miss Jean's moms.
Okay.
And so, so they're probably maybe like 65 at least years old.
Can't you take them somewhere and get them like really
older
like
than
under
that.
the microscope and then
Yeah.
look at it and tell you?
Anna was gonna get them. She got them resized, and she said she's got her own now. But if as she gets older, she said if she needs to resize them again, she might. But
Mhm.
these are for her
Cool.
from my from Pop, my great grandfather. So
Well, since you're describing a ring, mine is a ring is my wedding ring.
a big old ring.
So this diamond is actually my husband's great aunt's diamond,
Oh wow.
and then the little diamonds are from his mom's cocktail ring, and then these little bitty diamonds, like on the side, are from a ring I had from my mom. So all the silver was melted down and recolored from gold.
Whoa.
So my whole ring is made of like family
That's
jewels.
so cool.
Yeah. So it was kind of like when we were planning to get engaged. We just had all these jewels that he was
Yeah.
like, "Well, let's design." So I designed my wedding ring, and then he had it sent off to a jeweler, and then they made it.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's my,
That's so
I guess,
cool.
family heirloom.
Yeah.
I guess I can kind of
So-
show mine like that. So my ring. So Danielle and I have been married for 25 years.
Holla.
This is the third ring.
For you?
Yes.
Oh.
The first one fell off in our first year of marriage when we were playing at Jacksonville, Florida, in the beach in the water, and it came off my hand, and I couldn't find it in the water.
Oh no.
And I'm down there with my eyes open trying to find it, and I'm like, it's gone. Second one falls off of my hand because I was running back then, and I was getting thin. You know, you lose weight, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden your ring comes off in the shower, and there's no drain there, and it goes down. I'm on the 11th floor of this hotel. I'm like, where does this go? So I go to the basement of the hotel to like talk. There's this guy in there with a cigar.
With a
You know,
cigar.
nobody comes down there with in
one of
his
these
room,
boxes
and he's
too?
got like this crazy little place. I go, where does all the drains go to? Do you have I was hoping they would have a catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you should. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
how much stuff do you got in the catch of a hotel?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, it's just the elbow, and it goes straight out to the sewer. And I'm like, man, so that was number 2. Number 3, I get from my mom, and it's this middle ring that has 7 diamonds, one for each one of our kids.
Whoa.
And so there's 7 little diamonds in it, one for each child. And then it's white gold, and then I got 2 other white gold rings and welded it onto it to make a thicker ring, and that's my wedding ring. I've never
Cool.
taken it off, and I got it a half size smaller at the beginning. So like when I take my ring off, you can tell like I've
Oh my
had something
gosh.
on. Like it doesn't come off. There's like a callus built up right there. Like it
Wow.
doesn't slide off my hand no matter what.
I know Landon doesn't take his it's like permanently white. Like he's tanned everywhere else, but then
Yeah.
right there it's like
Yeah.
really white.
Good man.
His is
Good
a
man,
fam-
Landon.
Yeah, his is a family heirloom too. His original grandma passed away from cancer, Miss Penny, and from their wedding, his wedding ring, he got engraved with our wedding anniversary plus their wedding anniversary, and that's his ring from his first wedding.
Cool.
So we both have like family rings.
That's so cool.
Well, I got another cool thing.
What you got?
It's this pig.
Oh gosh, this big.
So this pig.
Look at all the age circles on
This
it.
has been in the family for before the gold rush in California.
Oh my gosh. That
What?
specific
Not
pig?
this pig.
Okay.
Let me explain. This design. So every time somebody gets married in our family, my Uncle Jim, who's now passed away, he was the one who would make these things and send them to everybody who get married in the entire family. So the Bannister family, which is my mom's side of the family, which Louis L'Amour writes about in Northern California, who are cattle people, is who made this. So my Uncle Jim would cut this and carve it, and he had the original design for
Okay.
the pig. and he passed away. We don't know where the original design is, so I have to take this, and I've got to make a copy of it and cut a board and give it to Micah, since he's the one who's gotten married
Yeah.
next, so that he will have a cutting board. So this was made for Danielle and I, this pig, and we've had it in our family, and he had made it for us. So we've had it for 25 years, this pig. And so that's kind of cool. And so now I have to cut one out and make it for him. But this goes all the way back to our family that lives in Sacramento, where our family farm is, which is right outside of Sutter Mill, where they discovered gold. And they were there before the gold rush. So they were cutting these things. This pig shape was cut out before then.
That's so
And they kept handing it down from family to family. So my mom had one in her house, because I remember using this and cutting it as a kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I went and visited my grandmother in Arizona to bring her to California because she was getting too old. And I moved, and I looked on her counter, and she has the same pig. And I'm like, I go, Grandma, where'd you get this? And she said, well, that was made for me when I got married by her grandfather. So this thing has just been passed down
Passed down.
from generation to generation,
Whoa.
all
And
the
it's
way
just
back.
a simple pig.
And it's just a simple pig cut out. So I got to make this shape, cut it out, and send it to Micah now, since he's
Yeah.
the latest one who's gotten married. And so each one of the kids will have one of these, and it's a cutting board. Finally, it's like, I don't know why a pig.
Was
I
it
don't
a
know.
certain type of wood that he would use? Like,
I
is
think
that another thing?
this is just pine, but it hasn't cracked or anything. So I don't know if he's got good at picking out wood or whatever. But none of them have broke. Like, I remember cutting out something out of pine, and I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't cured. I don't know anything about woodworking. Maybe your husband does.
Yeah.
But every time I cut something out, it would like crack down the middle, and it would snap. And even
Yeah.
charcuterie boards that we buy now, we just threw one away because there was a crack down the middle
Yeah.
of it. And I'm like, why is it doing that? And I guess it's because they didn't let it age or cure or whatever, the wood.
That's
So
cool.
I think he picked that out, but I think it's just pine. And I want to think that that's what it is. And man, we've had this one. This is a 25-year-old pig
That's
from
so funny.
That's cool.
before the
That's cool.
1840s.
Okay,
Awesome.
guys. Well, this was a good segment.
Yeah,
That was fun.
We did
That was
great,
interesting.
guys.
I'll let y'all know if I get on a plane again and travel.
I think
to
that's
my...
like a Louisiana thing. Like, everybody's afraid to get on planes.
I
know
love-
a
I
lot of
never
Louisiana
was
people.
used-
I
I
love
was gonna be
flying
a
planes.
pilot.
My grandpa worked for Delta. It was nothing for us to hop on a plane and go visit them in Texas. So for me, like, to get on a plane, it's nothing. But
Yeah.
now I'm reading all of this and like I have
Yeah.
a vacation planned in
Yeah.
Punta Cana, and the
Yeah.
Bermuda Triangle is like right there. I'm like, I don't want my plane to take no hard left, and,
Yeah.
you know.
I was
So-
flying to, it was either from or back from Nashville or to Philadelphia this summer, whichever one of the things I was flying in. I think it was,
Oh, you were at Centrifuge in Philadelphia.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was. The flight there, the whole time I was like, you know what? The Lord's got me this far. He's got a plan, so I'm just trusting that this plane is not going to go down. And then we hit terrible turbulence. Like, the guy next to me, a grown man next to me, started crying. And he's holding his wife's hand, and he's like this. And I was like, it's okay. And I just remember, like, the plane literally did like this. And I rocked all the way into the seat next to me. And I was like,
Did they warn y'all? You know how now
he
they
said
warn you?
he was like, we're
You
gonna
know how
hit
those
some
pilots
turbulence.
are, right? You
And
gotta
he,
be calm.
Yeah.
Like,
He even said we're about to go into bad turbulence, not mild, bad. And so I was like, oh gosh.
And they're probably up front like, woohoo, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. I was like, Lord, you got me this far. I know you're gonna get me there, but
that's right.
this is not fun.
It's your time. It's your time. There ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
those guys, there's always a little bang before it's bing, and then he comes on.
And then
Seatbelts.
This is your captain speaking. If we'll go ahead and fasten those seatbelts, we are fixing to have some quite terrible turbulence.
Yeah, that's basically what
So
and they
it
let's
was.
sound so
refrain from
calm
that.
about it, and you're
Yeah.
like, what?
And you're like, what did he just say? Because he was really calm when he said that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
And they
But
said
people are like,
something-
that plane, there was a plane recently where the people hit the ceiling.
I saw something
And then they
about
hit the
that.
ground.
Y'all are
I'm like,
not making
good
me feel
night.
any
Yeah.
better about flying, like,
I saw.
at all.
It's,
It's still safer than driving.
he did say
Yeah, I
something.
did, yes, I have heard
We
that.
were about to land in Philly. He goes, now I will tell you, he said something about it's like 64, no, maybe it was like 74 degrees. He's like, that's what it says it is, but Philly's terribly hot. It's deceptionally hot. It's going to be really hot. And so now every time I fly, I ask if I can go sit in the cockpit when I get off the plane. And so when I went to Nashville and then whenever I went to Philadelphia, both times there's a picture of me in the
Okay.
pilot's seat and the other pilot's next to me.
Cool.
And it looks like I'm flying the plane. I fully convinced one of my friends I flew the plane. It was hilarious.
The pilots are like, they're calm on everything. It's awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have an awesome week.
Yeah.
See you next week.
See you next week.
guys.
Follow, comment, all the things.
Like and subscribe.
Let us know the longest plane ride you've ever been in.
Yes. Yes.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.